We are live! Welcome to the PPBL kitchen, everybody! Hello! So, yesterday I asked you guys what you would like to watch me cook, and there were two options, a sunshine smoothie and a mug cake. And guess what you all chose? Look at all this! We're gonna make a mug cake today. I already have a few made already, look at them. And we're gonna make one just for you guys right here, right now. But before that, I want to tell you that in today's session, I'm going to share two really important things about baking with you guys. And towards the end of the session, I'm gonna ask you guys something which is not related to baking, but related to our show today. So stay tuned, you're gonna learn something today, and we are going to make a mug cake. So let's get started. Now, as for the basics of baking is all about the right proportions. We need to be mindful about how much of what product we're using, because even a slight change in proportions can change the consistency of our final product, and that is what baking is all about. That is why there are professional bakers and professional bakeries, because these are people who know what they're doing. Okay, all right. So first thing about measuring things when you're baking, our regular cutlery, the spoons that we use. Lower the volume, please. Can you lower the volume? Can you guys hear the background music? I thought we'd try something different. Anyway, so these are our cutlery spoons, very different sized. These are not what we use to measure when we're baking. When we're baking, we use measuring spoons and measuring cups or grams, whatever units you're comfortable with. Those are the units we use to measure things. Now I'm going to show you the different kinds of spoons we have here. This is a tablespoon. This little one is a teaspoon, this little one, okay? This one is half a teaspoon, and this tiny little one, that's an eighth of a teaspoon, okay? So there are a lot of ways you can measure. You get these sets very easily in the market. So this is one thing. And then the other thing is our measuring cups. These also come in sets, and you can get it in a variety of materials. These days there are a lot of cute little ceramic ones that have little animals or flowers or birds on them. You can go with those too. Hi, hello. Okay, so this one is a cup. This is a big total cup. And they also have measurements mentioned here. So a fourth, half, a third, and a whole of a cup. This one is right here, it's a third of a cup. Okay, so with that out of the, thank you, being so cute, thank you. Okay, so now that we have the right measurements out of the way, now that we know how to measure things when we're baking, there's another thing that's really important when we're baking, and that is the baking medium. The thing that we use to make our dough rise, our baking soda. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard the terms baking soda and baking powder thrown around a lot of the times. So this brings me to the second really important piece of information that I want to share with you guys, which is the difference between baking soda and baking powder. Now, baking soda is a chemical compound known as sodium bicarbonate, which is NaCO2. Okay? Now this chemical compound is basic in nature. Just a little bit of science and school level chemistry in here. I'm sure you're aware of acidic and basic things, and things that are neither acidic nor basic, those are neutral things. Okay? So baking soda or sodium bicarbonate is basic in nature. Baking soda by itself is not going to raise our dough. We need to activate it in order for it to make our dough rise and for it to give us a very nice and spongy cake. Okay? Now if you guys can't hear me alright, please comment and tell me if you cannot hear me alright, okay? Alright, so now for baking soda, in order to activate it, there are several ways to do it. The first way is to add an acidic salt and a liquid, okay? What is an acidic salt? An example of an acidic salt is cream of tartar, which is very commonly used in baking, okay? That is potassium bitartrate. You don't have to know this. Cream of tartar is also very easily available in the market, okay? That is one way of activating our baking soda. Adding an acidic salt and a liquid like water, or any plant milk that we're using for baking. Alright, the second way of activating baking soda is to use an acidic liquid. Okay, now what's an acidic liquid? You could use any kind of vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is very popular for baking, and also we could use lemon juice. Alright, so now we know two ways of activating baking soda. We need to remember that in our baking, using just baking soda is not going to be enough. And today I've made it in several ways. In this particular version, I'm going to show you how I'm going to activate my baking soda with a solid acidic salt, which is cream of tartar. Alright, now that the lesson is out of the way, let's get baking. Now, the total time that this mug cake is going to take is going to be between 1 and 2 minutes, and it really depends on how powerful your microwave is. Mine is a fairly old one, but it still works fine, and my microwave and my mug cake is ready within a minute or a minute and a half tops. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, exactly how much of everything to use. And once you get the proportions right, in order to add different flavors or different textures, you can just keep adjusting, keep experimenting. And the best part about this is it only takes 5 minutes to do the whole thing. Okay, so now today's ingredients. What we need today, there are two types of things you're going to need while you're baking: your solid ingredients and your liquid ingredients. Okay, now for the solid ingredients, you're gonna need whole wheat flour. I'm gonna use 3 tablespoons of whole wheat flour. You can also use all-purpose flour, you can use maida, you can use a gluten-free flour. Today I'm using whole wheat flour. The other ingredient I'm using is a tablespoon of cocoa powder, chocolate powder. Okay, this is not drinking chocolate, this is pure cocoa powder. Okay, I'm going to use a tablespoon of this, and of course I'm going to detail all of the quantities of the ingredients in the description when I upload this video. Alright, the third solid ingredient is our sweetener. Now, last time I told you there are several kinds of sweeteners that we can use. I have made these two. This one is made with jaggery, and there's one made with date powder, which is also known as khari powder. This one I'm going to make with khan, or a slightly less processed sugar. It's made out of sugarcane, but it is much less processed than those white sugar crystals that we get in the market. Okay. Now, these are our 3 main solid ingredients. Then, of course, we have our baking soda, this one, and our cream of tartar. This is the version I'm going to show you guys. Okay? And to add just a little spark of flavor, I'm going to add a pinch of instant coffee powder to this one. It helps enhance the flavor of the chocolate. Okay? Sea salt or even pink salt, they're also great additions if you'd like to add those. Okay? And we're only using one liquid ingredient, and that is 1/4 of a cup of soy milk. I'm gonna keep this back because I don't want to drop it, spill it. What is wrong with me? Anyway, so those are the ingredients that we're going to be using to make our mug cake today. Now that you're clear on what we're going to be using, let's get mixing. So I'm going to measure. I haven't measured the ingredients here because I want to show you how I measure the ingredients. There are different ways of doing it, okay? Now let me show you. This is what you would call a heaping tablespoon. Okay, but if you do this, can you see this? That if you flatten it, now this is a proper tablespoon. Okay, this is the level tablespoon, and this is the way we're going to measure the ingredients we put in today. All right, now 1 tablespoon of flour in, then another tablespoon in, and see, once you get it, it's really easy. You don't even have to use your finger. You can just tap, 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 and you can level it. Okay, that's our 3rd tablespoon of our flour in. Now a tablespoon of cocoa powder, that goes in, and a tablespoon of khan, because I'm not a fan of super sweet things. If you like it sweeter, you can add maybe a half a tablespoon more, depending on what you like. Okay, so try it, experiment, figure out how you like it, and tell me how you found it. Now adding our instant coffee, in it goes. And now I'm going to show you how I'm making baking powder from baking soda and cream of tartar. Okay, I'm taking this tiny little 1/8 of a teaspoon. Alright, for this tiny little quantity of mug cake, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take about a pinch, just about a pinch of baking soda. Okay, and I'm going to take twice as much of cream of tartar. Okay, there you go. And all of our solid ingredients are now in. I'm just going to give them a little stir to just make sure all of the powders are really nicely mixed in. And there we go. There we go. Is the video still stopped? Can you guys see me alright? Can you please tell me if you can see me alright? Okay, yeah. You guys see, you can see me alright. Okay. So this is what our powders are gonna look like when they're mixed. Okay? Alright. Now, I'm gonna add 1/4 of a cup of soy milk to this. Now the reason I'm using soy milk and not coconut milk is I don't want to make it very coconutty, and soy milk tends to have a fairly neutral flavor in this. Now we're quickly gonna mix this. You can use any plant milk really, and depending on the kind of flavors you like, you could use cashew milk, even almond milk would be really great in this. So mix, 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 mix. Alright, last time I wasn't able to see her comments on the phone. So today I'm doubly prepared. I'm wearing my specs and I have my laptop right in front of me to see what you guys are talking about. And hi Prarthna, hi Shireen, hi Aditya, hi the Vegan Kitchen one, hello, hello everybody. Okay, now this is all mixed. Look at the consistency, it's pasty, okay, like a normal cake. This is what it looks like. Let me show it to you this way. There we go. Okay, now that is done, we're gonna plop this into the microwave for exactly a minute and not any longer. Okay, are we ready to put this into the microwave? Are we, Mr. Helper? Are we ready to put this into the microwave? So my cousin is over and he's been a big help today. So he's taken this to put it in the microwave for exactly a minute. Okay, not any more, not any less. And in a minute, we're gonna take the mug out and see whether it is done or not. And that'll help us decide if it needs to be in the microwave for any longer or if it's completely ready. I'll tell you what. So for this one, this is a narrower mug that I used, okay? And this was ready in a minute. Look at how well it has risen. The batter was only about 1/3 of the way in and it has risen to almost the top of the mug, right? This one on the other hand is a much wider mug. Just look at them, okay? This one took me a minute and a half, but look at how beautifully it has separated from the sides. I didn't need to use any oil or anything else at all, so you can call this a Whole Foods mug cake, okay? Now that is happening, I think it's going to take about 20 more seconds, and meanwhile, can you ask me your questions? Yes, 1 minute only. It only takes 1 minute to make a mug cake. Now let's see what we have got here, and then we will decide whether we need to do it for any longer. Okay? Now look at that. It's not ready yet. You see, it's pretty liquidy here, and this is the same wider cup, right? Which took us a minute and a half. So now again, we're gonna do this for 30 seconds. Okay? Can you plug this in for 30 seconds? Great. Alright. 1 minute ho gaya, chalo, mug nikalo. You are so adorable. Oh, thank you. No, you're not gonna die. You're gonna stay alive. It is possible. You just saw in only a minute and 30 more seconds, and our mug cake is going to be ready. Secret ingredient is your witchcraft. Okay guys, there are a lot of misconceptions about witchcraft, and now that I have you all here, there's a lot of you online right now. So now that I have you all here, let me clarify what witchcraft really is. Witchcraft is not black magic. Witchcraft is just being close to nature and just using the things in nature to make the things we like. Okay? Now look at that. I think that it's almost ready because it is separated from the sides. Okay? Now, the test, whether it's ready or not, or whether it needs to go back into the microwave again. We take a knife. We take a sharp knife. And what we do is, we're going to wait for 20 seconds for it to cool down. Okay? Wow, it's quite hot. Okay, so the sides have separated very nicely. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to take the knife and we're going to plop it into the center of our cake. And if it comes out clean, our cake is ready. Okay? Let me show you guys how I do it. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. And it's in. It's all the way in. Let's take it out. Let's take it out. Let's take it out. Okay. You see that? It's not completely clean. That means it's not ready yet. Okay? So we're going to put this in. Not for 30 seconds because only the bottom is left. We're only going to put it in for 10 seconds. Okay? Can you take it out in 10 seconds? Thank you. See, that is what happens with microwaves, with the different kinds of configurations and different voltage. You really can't say exactly how long it's going to take. You only know with experience. Like I told you, this one took me only 1 minute. This one took me a minute and 30 seconds. That one is taking me a minute and 40 seconds. Okay? Now, thank you. So, our cakes are ready. Now what we're going to do is have a little tasting. Okay? Before that, I want to tell you, you can do a lot of different things with these cakes. You can make a marble mug cake. You can make a vanilla flavored mug cake. You can make a blueberry mug cake. You can make any kind of cake you want in a mug in 2 minutes flat. Okay? You can also decorate it with some nuts and seeds. You can add cashews, walnuts, almonds, whatever you like. Okay? So I'm going to call my cousin now. He's going to taste this and tell me what he thinks. But can I show you guys what it looks like? There we go. And look at that. Okay, he doesn't want to come in front of the camera, but he's going to tell
It's
me.
fluffy. It's so good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
good. Yeah, it's chocolatey too.
And you're not lying to me?
No, not at all.
Alright, thank you. Okay, he's been a great help. And yeah, I really love all of my cousins. Anyway, So now that we are done with the mug cakes, do you guys have any questions on cake? Oh, you guys. Yes, try blueberry. Yes, I love it too. I'm gonna have a bite of the cake as well. Let's have the hot one. Make sure it's not too hot. Okay. Okay. It's really different when it's hot, and it's quite different when it's cool. So you might wanna. Oh yes, another thing you can do is you can put some chocolate syrup on it. That is also a really nice way to enjoy your mug cake. Now, guys, coming on to the little question that I had for you all. Do you know anybody else who's also doing this? If you know them, then please, once I upload this video, please let me know in the comments, tag them, so maybe I can talk to them, we can connect, and maybe we can come up with something for you guys together. Okay, so if you know anybody else who's doing this, who's doing, who's cooking live or doing something similar to what I'm doing today, please share with me. Okay, now any questions? Chocolate chips. Yes, chocolate chips. Another thing that you can do, you can make a lava cake with this. Just take one little brick of chocolate. I like dark chocolate. You can take any kind of chocolate you like, and when your batter is ready, just plop that little piece of chocolate into the middle of the batter very gently, and put it in the microwave. What that's gonna do is, it's gonna cook our flour batter, but it's only gonna melt our chocolate. And when you bite into it, there's gonna be nice molten chocolate. But for that, what you need to make sure is you have it hot, because once it cools down, your chocolate is gonna solidify as well. Okay? Alright, now the vegan kitchen. Okay, we should do something together then. Alright, I know someone who's done this. Okay, perfect. Then please let me know in the comments. Alright guys, thank you so much. So if there are no more questions, I'm gonna say goodbye, and I'll see you next Sunday. Before that, on Saturday, there's gonna be a poll for you guys to decide what I am gonna make live. Alright, bye guys, PPPL Kitchen signing off.